This is Mr. Wade at Ed Media with another round of Photoshop. Today we're going to be learning about the layer mask feature, which is a very important feature that allows you to basically make things appear or disappear within a layered project. So we'll begin playing around with layer mask with this particular project, beginning with a porthole. I've deselected all the other layers and leaving only the porthole. Something that I would like you to do now is to go to View and click on Rulers. Two rulers will pop out of the sides of your image. You can click on your ruler and drag in a line. I'd like you to take it to the very top of this black circle. Click and drag in another line to the black circle. There you have it. All right, now the reason why we're doing this is because I would like to take out this portal and reveal what's behind it. So I'm going to be clicking on the elliptical marquee tool, going to the top left corner, holding down the shift button to create a perfect circle, and then dragging it in. Okay, so this should take us to a selection of the porthole all around the black area. So it should look something like that. Now, what I'd really like to do with the selection, however, is apply it to this iceberg image that we see here. So I'm clicking onto the iceberg, and here I'm going to be selecting our first layer mask. So I'm going to go up here to Layer, I'm going to go down to a Layer Mask, and then I'm going to say Reveal Selection. So that's going to be revealing everything inside the selection. So, boom, we have our first layer mask. And what this is basically showing us is everything black we cannot see, everything white we can see. Okay, so that is kind of like a visual breakdown of what's happening in the scene. Something that I'd like to do here now is I'd like to further feather this. So I'm going to go up here with the layer mask selected, and I'm going to drag in the feathering to about, let's go to about 10, 9 or so. And we can see the effect of it here when we deselect the porthole. It looks more blurred, a bit more realistic. All right, so we have our first layer mask. Now we're going to add another one in the form of the city of Chicago. Okay, doesn't look good. We need to spruce this up a bit. So we're going to do this by, first I've selected the layer Chicago. Then we're going to go select and select subject. And it'll take a second, but Photoshop is very good at tracing out whatever we have as the subject. Here it is the city of Chicago. So we have it selected. Then we can go down here to add a new layer mask. And Photoshop is smart enough to apply it to the selected subject. So we can just click there and boom, there it is. Okay, it's not quite perfect, it's not quite beautiful, but it's all we need. So I'd like you to put Chicago somewhere in your porthole, wherever you'd like. I'm going to put mine right there. All right, so right now we're going to be blurring it in. And we're going to be doing that by using a brush tool. So the brush tool is selected. Something happened to my mouse earlier today. I don't know what's going on at the moment. So what I'd like you to do is change the settings of your brush to 0. And the size, 300, 350 is fine. It should give you something that looks about this size. Okay, so we have the layer mask selected. We have black selected as the color. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just click a little bit around Chicago. And what we want to do is just take out any sort of hard lines or damage, and suddenly it looks like it's floating in the clouds. Yeah, so that is how we do it. Another thing that you can do is you can go ahead and like lower the opacity to create some clouds like over the actual city. That's fine. Lovely, lovely. So this is basically like a very important trick in the layered mask. It's not just about copying and pasting, but kind of blurring the transition. And you can do that by painting white or painting black, depending on if you want things to appear or disappear. All right, the last thing that we'll be popping in is these birds. So we're going to go up here to the selection tool. We're going to click Object Selection, which will give us a marquee to select the birds. The birds have not been selected. Oh, I've done it wrong. I just undid it. I didn't have the bird selected, so bad, Mr. Wade. All right, so we'll try it again. And we got the birds. Beautiful. And then we can go back to add layer mask and the background is removed. Okay, so that is how we use layer mask in Photoshop. And we can make a few other tweaks here, however we'd like. Oops. First you have to like pick the layer that you want changed and then drag it to wherever you want. We could also move the birds if we wanted. And that does it for layer mask, a very important feature in Photoshop.